afternoon, pet parents of Regina or wherever you may be. It is Olivia and I only today. Miss Ella is at a horse race. So the Zainerman is here.
Filling in for Ella.
And
Rue, I guess.
And Rue, yes.
Double duties today.
Double duties. Plus his own duties, and he won't answer any of your questions, but we are going to.
Yeah.
So we figured we get a lot of questions on TikTok and a lot of requests to respond via video. What we figured we would actually do today is take some of those questions that tend to come up regularly and we would answer them here. And I just want to say hello Gail, hello Christine, I can't see my hello Shelly, hello to all of the peeps. We figured we would also show you guys. Did we talk about this last week?
We did talk about it, I think a little bit, but we didn't have everything.
So we got a brand new product in store. If you're following us on Facebook and Instagram, you would have seen our little teasers about guess what the new product is, guess what the purpose of it is. We finally now have the entire line in. So this is Chester's Treats and Care. We are the only store in Canada to be carrying these, and we love them. The furry guys love them. We can say that we love them because we actually tried them.
They're really good.
They're actually quite delicious. And the furry guys agree. But what we love most about them is they are completely natural. They have some really unique ingredients like dragon fruit, cucumber, charcoal, lavender, mushrooms, blueberries.
Yeah.
Nothing that isn't needed in these treats. It is all whole foods, natural foods, but all of their products are functional. So that means if we've got a guy with sore joints, or we've got a guy that needs to boost his immune system, or we've got a guy that needs some extra antioxidants, these treats, toppers, and
I have some of the stuff.
excellent.
It's not at all.
Treats, toppers, balms, and wait for you guys, waffles. Waffles for dogs. Is this the coolest thing ever?
It's already made up waffles as well. It's not, you have to make the batter, like literally open it up, and they're little mini waffles. They're so cool.
Mini waffles. So you grab some waffles. Okay, you grab those. Okay. So we have got, these are the waffles, you guys. So what do I have? I have Carabin oats. I have blueberry waffles.
And I have banana nut. Super cool.
Waffles. These are all functional as well. So it says right on the front, if you go on our website, you can see what the purpose of these, of all the waffles are. They can be breakfast, they can be part of a meal, they can be a treat, however you want to do it. And it also tells you serving sizes based on how big or small your little guy is. Then,
Do we have samples that show the size of them?
they're broken in half. They're not
okay.
the full size, but we do have samples. And Christy is saying, woohoo, Bailey loved those treats. So Christy just won. She was one of our winners for guessing what the new products were. And she came in yesterday. She had got some treats for Bailey before. She came in and got the other things that she didn't have, the waffles, the balms.
Super cool.
Super cool. So again, what do we have? We've got...
Okay, so I have the Boo Boo Balm and the Pain Healer.
which I'm about to try, you guys, because when I went to Vancouver and I came home, I gave myself some tennis elbow by lifting my suitcase. Ridiculous. But it's been hurting, and I'm going to use the pain reliever because I'm just going to rub it on my elbow because all of the natural ingredients in there hopefully will give me some relief. I meant to do that before we came on. And then I have the Paw Protector and the Hide Healer. So again, just balms. These are made with shea butters and coconut oils.
Mango butters. So cool.
Just completely unique ingredients that we don't often see in pet products or pet treats. So We love them, you guys.
Super cool.
Super cool.
And I think all of their packaging too is biodegradable.
It is.
Which is really, really great to see from a company.
Right? So no waste, and no waste in the packaging, no waste in the products. They are not putting anything in there that is not needed. So anything that is consumable, the waffles, the toppers, the treats, we want to put those in the fridge after we open them because there is no preservatives, because it is all natural.
Yeah.
So fantastic. We're so excited about it. We're so excited.
What is the website for Chester's? I wonder if it says, it would probably just be like chesterstreats.com or something.
Or if you even just type in Chester's dog treats, it'll come up. And you'll see their little logo.
His little dog.
Yeah, super cool. You'll see it. They're awesome.
Their website is also really, really cool.
Very
Gives
cool.
lots of information, lots of pictures,
Yeah.
very bright and vibrant,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
And we have included all of the information about the products that we're carrying in store. We have included all of that on our website as well. So you can always pop onto our website, take a look at the Chester's products that we have. They do have one other product that we are looking at. We just wanted to see what delivery times would be because they have to be in the fridge, but they are the gummies. They are the Chester's gummies. And so they always have to be in the fridge. They are shipped, they would be shipped to us on dry ice. So we wanted to test shipping times to make sure that we don't get, containers of goo.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. And Jason says it is www.chesters.dog is their
Perfect.
website.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, perfect. Okay,
Should we get into it?
we're gonna get into it. We're gonna
Perfect.
get into some of the most commonly asked questions that we get. This, like I said, a lot of these questions we get on TikTok, and a lot of times people will make requests for us to reply to Q&As, which we have replied to some, but we get so many questions. We figured, you know what? Let's take some of the most popular questions, and we're going to deal with them on the live.
Yes.
All right, Olivia, would you like to start?
Okay, I'll start with the first one. So it says, is rice good for dogs? So, no. It's such an old school way of thinking that rice and chicken especially is very good for dogs with an upset stomach. But it's not. You're not going to get that much fiber out of it. Your best bet would be turkey and pumpkin. And Carly actually figured this out when Zaner was having some tummy troubles last summer. And she was kind of doing, I think you were doing the chicken and rice.
I was.
Yeah, and it kind of just wasn't doing anything. And then she tried the turkey and pumpkin. And I think it seemed to work a little bit better. So
Big time.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why. So chicken and rice, just like Olivia said, it's kind of old school. It's almost old school veterinary thinking, right? You go to the vet because you're like, my furry guy has tummy troubles, upset tummy, whatever it is, and they say, feed them chicken and rice. The reason that they're saying that is because they want you to feed a bland diet so that we can get something into them, but it's very bland.
Dr. Judy Morgan would recommend that as well. Yes.
And so does Dr. Karen Becker. And that's where I learned about this. So rice, one, is a grain. So when we feed it, especially to a little furry guy who's having those upset tummy troubles, when we feed rice, which is a grain to them, it just ferments in the tummy. So oftentimes, rice looks the same going in as it does coming out because they're not digesting it. Again, as Olivia said, rice doesn't have that much fiber that we would think it would. Pumpkin actually has 3 times the amount of fiber. So if we're having upset tummies that is causing kind of those loose stools or runny poops, getting that sufficient fiber in there is important. It is also important to remember pure pumpkin puree.
Not the dessert stuff.
Not pumpkin pie filling. And if you can get organic, absolutely. I could not find organic pumpkin puree, so I just went with regular pumpkin puree. And then you take ground turkey and you gently cook it. And by gently, I mean I would cook it more if I was eating it myself, but I just until it browned, and then it's a 50-50 split. 50% pumpkin, 50% turkey. We're gonna feed this. If we are having that upset tummy, we can do this for about 3 days. We should see the tummy troubles resolve, and if we don't, we definitely wanna get to the vet.
Yeah.
So, can dogs eat rice? The answer is I mean, they
They
can.
can, but it's not as beneficial.
And it's not great for them. You guys, I could eat styrofoam. It doesn't mean I should. So the answer to can dogs eat rice, the very simple answer is no, don't make your dog eat rice.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. I guess this is mine after I like totally bamboozled you.
That's okay. Go for it.
So we were asked, are bananas good for dogs? Bananas are good for dogs. Fresh, whole foods from our kitchen, you almost can't beat that. There are some exceptions, of course. We know we don't give them grapes, we don't give them anything from the onion family. But for the most part, the majority of fruits and vegetables out there are very beneficial for our pets. We have one of our customers, their kitty, loves her banana every morning. Must have her banana every morning. So a lot of folks say, well, cats don't eat fruits and vegetables. Some do. Dogs are going to be a lot less particular than kitties. But bananas provide a fantastic source of antioxidants. Of course, bananas also provide, they're very rich in potassium. They're good for the eyes. They're also good for boosting the immunity. And they help regulate blood pressure. That is just a couple of the long list of benefits that are associated with bananas. As always, we want to make sure that when we're feeding fresh whole foods that we are doing no more than 25%, 20 to 25% of a complete and balanced diet. So Zaner is not going to live on bananas and bananas alone, but they can make up a portion of his meal. So I can include bananas into his breakfast, or I could just give him bananas as a little snack. We want to feed size appropriate pieces, and I'm not going to feed Zane a whole banana. I'm going to feed Zane like literally tiny little chunks of banana because he's a 5-pound dog.
In moderation, right? Like Carly just said, you don't want to do a whole banana, but any little fruit or veggie in moderation is completely okay unless it's not harmful to them. So.
And always, you might have seen on our TikTok, we have started our series about ways that you can improve your pet's diet for less than $1 a day, right from your very own kitchen. I say in every single video, be sure to gradually incorporate new fresh whole foods into your pet's diet if you've never fed them before, just so that we can avoid tummy upset. Okay? But like by moderation, Zaner gets blueberries in his breakfast. He gets 4. 4 blueberries is what he gets. He's a 5-pound dog, so he gets 4 blueberries. I probably wouldn't feed more than 10 to 15 blueberries, regardless of the size of dog. But Zaner gets 4 blueberries.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I always thought only 10% could be, I think, of the fruits or veggies. Otherwise, it would be unbalanced. Is it actually 20 to 25% that could be unbalanced?
So that would make me think that you're actually thinking of a raw diet. Normally, what they say is it's that 10% fruits and veggies, 10% bone and organ meat, 80% meat. And then there's also there's 70%, 20, 10. We're saying if you're already feeding a complete and balanced diet, you can make 20 to 25% of that fresh whole foods. So 100% of the complete and balanced diet is already in the bowl. We're just topping. We're going to take away a little bit of the food that we have in the bowl because we don't want to overfeed ever. So if Zaner, he does not eat a cup of food, you guys, but I'm going to do this just to make it easy math. If he was eating a cup of food and I wanted to do 20 to 25% fresh whole foods, I would reduce his cup of food down to 3/4 and I would do a 1/4 cup of fresh whole food. So that's what we're saying. That the percentage that you've got in there is already complete and balanced. We're just adding fresh whole foods to it. One of the questions that we get, and in fact, we just had a customer in here that we had this discussion with right before we got on our live. And it is, do dogs need wet food? This is going to apply to both dogs and cats. No. Sorry, I'm going to back up. Do dogs need wet food? No, but they need hydration. Kitties absolutely need hydration. So I would then say for cats, yes. Wet or fresh or raw. The reason is, cats and dogs need about 70% hydration. If we're feeding a dry diet, dry diets are only 10% moisture. So we're not getting a lot of hydration in a dry diet. We can add bone broth, we could add goat's milk, we could add wet food, we could add fresh whole foods, we could add raw foods, we could add a rehydrated freeze-dried. We just want to add in something that has additional hydration, because dogs will drink more than cats. Kitties, one, are not big drinkers because biologically they rely on their diets for their hydration. When they're eating nothing but a dry diet, they're only getting 10%. Remember, they need 70. So they're getting 10, they need 70%. Kitties are also very inefficient drinkers. What I mean by that is they can take 2,200. Zaner is deciding to fight a Great Pyrenees Paisley while I do the live. Kitties can take 2,200 tongue laps of water and only get a quarter cup of water. They're inefficient drinkers. That means they're not getting a lot. Their tongues are a little bit different than dogs, where they don't kind of make that scoop. Dogs will also drink a heck of a lot more. Kitties don't really have that thirst sensation to say, I must drink. And a lot of pet parents say, my cat drinks a ton. They might be at the bowl lots, but that doesn't mean that they're getting a lot of drink when they're there. So, do dogs need wet food? They don't need it. It's fantastic to include some sort of hydration, and if wet food is the way you want to do that, do it.
Just 1 second.
Okay. I'm going to get through these and then we'll just do our Q&A.
Yeah, go for it.
Hello. Okay. Can dogs eat human food only? No. And I say that because we don't eat bones, but our dogs need bones. In a complete and balanced diet, our dogs need a combination of protein, bones, organ, and then we can include some fruits and vegetables. So can they eat human food only? No, not unless we're going to include those bones and organs. Oftentimes we have customers that say, well, my dog eats what I eat. If we have chicken for the night, they have chicken. If we have pork chops, they have pork chops. That's great that we want to cook for our dogs, and I know that everybody does it with the best of intentions. The issue is that we are not providing a complete and balanced diet if we only give them human food. A lot of folks also think, oh, human food is terrible. You cannot feed human food. And that is not true. The reason that human food gets such a bad rap is because back in the day, we used to feed them table scraps. And table scraps are a nice way of saying garbage. This is what I will not eat. I've cut off the fat off of my meat. I've cut off the potato peel. I've cut off the greebly end of the carrot. I have cut off the things that I do not want to eat, and it would go in the trash. So I think, oh, give it to the dogs. But the majority of what that garbage on our plate was fat that we were cutting off of our meat. This is why table scraps got such a bad rap. And I am not saying start cutting off the fat on your meat and feed that to your dogs. I'm saying human food is okay for dogs, perfectly safe, can be very beneficial and nutritious. We just want to make sure it's the right stuff. That's why table scraps or human food got such a bad rap. In fact, I'm not prepared, you guys. What we have in store, these are our little magnets that show you a bunch of healthy good stuff that we can share with the furry guys right from our very own kitchen. It also lists the different reasons why we would want to. Antioxidant rich, anti-inflammatory, superfood caliber, cancer smashing. So we give these out to our customers in store all the time. So they've got an easy peasy reference right on their fridge. They're magnets, they'll just stick there. The other thing, we've got a second magnet. Sorry, you guys, we've got a second magnet. And this one we put together to kind of show you how you could improve or make a licky mat or an interactive toy way more healthy. These are the things we can do. So you can start with your base, then you can add up some toppers and add in some additional stuff. And at the bottom, we've also included everything we never want to feed our dogs. fat trimmings is one of those things. Not that it will kill them, but it is not necessarily good for them, especially little guys. If they were to eat too much of that pure fat that we're cutting off cooked meat, we could very easily cause a bout of pancreatitis, among other things. So, it's a two-part question. Can dogs eat human food only? No, because they have additional requirements. But can they eat human food? Absolutely. We just want to pick the right types of human food. One of the questions that we get regularly is, can dogs drink milk? And again, this applies for both cats and dogs. The answer is two-part. Yes, but we want to make sure that it is a raw milk. Raw goat's milk is our best bet, unless it is a fermented raw cow milk. Let me explain. A raw milk, I should back up. The furry guys, they have, their biological makeup allows for them to digest different types of bacteria that our fragile little human bodies cannot digest. This is why we need pasteurized milk. This is also why they can do raw milk. In North America, apparently we're weirdos because we drink cow's milk. Almost 90% of the world actually drinks goat's milk. It's just us in North America that love our cow's milk. Cow's milk versus goat's milk. The fat molecules in a cow's milk is about 5 times bigger than the fat molecules in a goat milk. When we feed our animals pasteurized dairy, it causes a bit of what looks like lactose intolerance. It has a lot to do with the size of the fat molecules, and they have a tough time digesting those fat molecules when they're 5 times bigger. Goat's milk, 5 times smaller. Raw, unpasteurized milks is the way that we want to go with the furry guys. The benefits associated with a raw, unpasteurized milk, it can help with diabetes, it can help with asthma. Goat's milk is a natural tummy tamer. Goat's milk is a natural antihistamine, so it can help with the itchy guys. Kefir, which is a goat's milk like on steroids because it's a fermented goat's milk, fantastic at helping with yeast infections. When we serve a fermented goat's milk and we've got a yeast infection, essentially that's an imbalance of bacteria. So we want to get all of the good bacteria back from that fermented goat's milk into the belly to try to address that yeast infection. Whether the yeast infection is on the paws or in the ears or on the belly, we need the furry guys to drink the kefir because we've got to fix the problem from the inside. But then, if it was a yeast infection in the ears, we can take a little bit of kefir and rub it on the ear to provide some external relief, because those healthy good bacteria in the fermented goat's milk will help to fight the bad bacteria of the yeast infection. So I'll go a little bit further. Zaner had a bit of a yeast infection in February, a little bit of a yeast infection and slight ear infection. I went to not my own vet because I didn't think I would be able to get in quick enough. And it was immediately give him the drugs and do this for 14 days. It was a combination of steroids as well as antibiotics. My concern was giving him antibiotics for 14 days and the impact it would have on his gut health. My other concern was giving him medicine that included steroids, which all we're going to do then is suppress the immune system, and we're not going to see the symptoms, but we're not addressing the root cause, which is obviously an imbalance in the gut. I was able to get into my vet the next day, and of course I chatted with them because I was rather upset with, I tried to have these discussions with my non-vet, the guy that's not my vet, and the conversation was shut down immediately because what the heck was I talking about? I might ask different questions than the average pet parent, so they're probably not used to that, but when I suggested I wanted to use kefir for the yeast infection, the vet looked at me like I had 3 heads. And I understood then the vet either didn't know what kefir was or didn't understand the impacts that kefir can have on the health of our animals. When I went to my vet, who is a holistic vet, and we talked about this, she explained to me that the way that yeast works is it's on a scale from 0 to 4. And when they do the swab, they then determine what grade is the yeast. If it's anything 2 or below, yes, do kefir, natural will work. If it is above a 2, then we probably have to look at conventional meds. So she went and ran the swab, she came back, she said it's barely a 1, absolutely use your kefir, which is all I did, rather than trying to ram drops down his ears, which was not good for either one of us. The screaming was ridiculous. And Zane barked a lot. No, I'm kidding. It was him screaming. So I gave him kefir for 10 days. We went back for a follow-up. My vet checked him over again and said, beautiful little pink ears. The yeast is completely cleared up. So if you've got a furry guy who is kind of prone to yeast infections, regardless of where it happens, or itchiness, getting a raw goat's milk or a fermented goat's milk, raw fermented goat's milk, into their diet is key. It also helps with increasing hydration, and it can help with a variety of other things. I just lost my train of thought there.
Kefir, good for ear infections.
Yeah, and all of the other things. Oh, yes. Make sure, so lots of people say to us, well, can I just buy the kefir at the grocery store? Or can I just buy the goat's milk at the grocery store? The answer is no. That is pasteurized. That is for human consumption. And the difference between animal consumption when it comes to our goat milk or our kefirs and people is that people need it pasteurized, dogs need it raw. Dogs and cats need it raw. So typically, unless you're going straight to the farmer, you are going to have to go to a pet store to find your raw, unpasteurized goat's milk or kefir that is good for the puppers. Okay?
Yeah.
I have done all the questions. But I did see that there were some questions coming in through TikTok, and I didn't stop.
Okay, so do you recommend anything for pancreatitis in cats?
So pancreatitis, whether in cats or in dogs, pancreatitis for the longest time, fat was blamed for pancreatitis. So oftentimes they're going to recommend for pancreatitis that you go on a low-fat diet. There has been a lot of research done recently that indicates that it is not actually fat, it is carbs. Carbs that cause pancreatitis. So pancreatitis, and we have many little furry guys, both cats and dogs, who have transitioned from a dry diet, which is carb high, to a raw diet, which is carb low, almost non-existent carbs. That would be my recommendation, is to look for a fresh whole diet, raw feeding for a furry guy with pancreatitis, because we want to get those carbs out.
Okay, so the next question is, hello from Norway.
Hello, Norway.
Is Origin a good brand for cats?
Yeah, so Origin is made by Champion. Champion is a good food. Champion has two different options. They have Origin and they have Acana. Origin is their top of the line. Acana is their low end, which doesn't make it bad. It's just a difference in ingredients. And Origin, from all of the research that we have done, Origin and Open Farm, I would say, are equal with regards to quality of ingredients and nutrition for our animals. The reason that I believe Open Farm edges up a little bit on Origin is because Open Farm, 1, has never had a recall, and 2, usually comes in about 3 times less to feed. So we're getting the same quality ingredients, we're getting a great food, but no recalls with Open Farm and a little bit less to feed. Like when you compare, I know this is not a cat, but when you compare a 50-pound dog feeding Origin or a 50-pound dog eating Open Farm, on Origin it would cost just over $7 a day. Open Farm, it costs just over $2 a day. So Zane is now attacking feet. Okay, stop it. So yes, Origin is a good food. If that's what you can get, if that's what you're going with, but I would still be including some wet food with a kitty.
Okay, so the next question is, should prebiotics be used on a daily basis or only as needed? probiotics you recommend? So I grabbed a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh my goodness.
I did. That's what I was doing in the background. Okay, so I would say I take a probiotic every single day for myself because I've noticed such a tremendous difference, especially for me. I suffer with lots of digestion problems. And then I'm
Pretty tough to buy pizza, you guys.
Yeah, it is. And then I also try to do prebiotics every single day as well. So my prebiotic that I use for myself is chia seeds, and then I just get a probiotic pill. I just got it from Costco. It's like a 10 billion one. So I do both. I would say for dogs and cats too, even if they have digestion problems or not, get them at least on a probiotic because it is such a great thing for every single day health. So I grabbed,
And the difference, you guys, between a prebiotic and a prebiotic is essentially seeding where the probiotics will grow the healthy, good bacteria. So you can absolutely include a prebiotic, a probiotic, a digestive enzyme every day, all the time. But what we also recommend when we're doing this is that we mix it up a little bit, right? So that's what Olivia has grabbed here. Oh my goodness, she got a bunch of stuff. Okay, so Adored Beast. We've got Healthy Gut. We've got Love Bugs. This is pre and pro and digestive enzymes. Again, for pancreatitis, Love Bugs, great thing. I should mention that for pancreatitis as well, including a digestive enzyme into the diet really helps because what happens with pancreatitis is that the pancreas is not able to create those digestive enzymes.
forgot one.
Oh, there we go. And this is Open Farm's new probiotic supplement. So literally just a chew, you guys. That's the size of it. These are for dogs. It's like a treat that you're giving them, but that's a good way to get probiotics in the diet.
And I think it's true as well. You can't do a prebiotic unless you have a probiotic. I'm pretty sure you have to have...
Well, there would be nothing, there would be no point in just doing pre, so you'd be doing both, or you just do probiotics.
Yeah, don't do just a prebiotic, but do a pre and a pro, or just a pro.
Yeah, because otherwise you're planting a garden, but you're not putting any seeds in it, if that makes sense. If you just do pre, you've got nothing to grow in there because you've just done the garden, but you put no seeds in it. So if you're doing a pre, you must do a pro. You can just do a probiotic, and you can with your digestive enzymes. So this is the 4-leaf rover. These are soil-based pre and probiotics, meaning that they're coming right from the earth. So again, a natural source. I did this one, My Healthy Gut. I don't even know what I'm holding anymore, you guys. Goat's milk. We were just talking about. We had a big long talk on goat's milk. Goat's milk is also a natural source of probiotics. So when we're having tummy troubles or when we're having an unbalanced gut, including goat's milk can even just help with that. And this is Carnivore Florivore. So these are their ground organic sprouted seeds, a source of prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes. I give this to Zainer every day. He gets this in every meal. When we were having our tummy troubles last summer, we went through a variety of things. One of the things we did was an FMT. We are going to do a live on that so you guys understand when you should be looking for an FMT. And of course, each week I saw improvement, but he just wasn't himself. And then I started adding a good, healthy source of fiber as well as our pre and probiotics and digestive enzymes. In 2 days, you guys, I had a completely different dog on my hand. Bright, energetic, full of P&V and healthy poops. Perfect, healthy poops. They say that you talk about poop with your best friends, so consider us best friends. I'm talking about my dog's poop. Okay. Okay, we did that one, and we did that one. I have a 6-month-old poodle that has severe diarrhea no matter what food I try, Open Farm, etc. You know what? I'm going to talk about an FMT right now. Because this is exactly when I would be doing an FMT. It's when I did it. Last summer with Zainer's tummy troubles, diarrhea every day and throwing up 3 to 4 times a week. vet appointment after vet appointment after vet appointment, dollars after dollars after dollars, and all the tests they were doing kept saying, well, he's okay, nothing's wrong. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you're not finding anything really critical, but diarrhea every day and throwing up 3-4 times a week, not normal. So I did an FMT, and an FMT is a fecal microbiome transplant. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you are having a dog or a cat that is having regular and persistent chronic digestive issues, an FMT could be the best thing you ever do for your pet. So a fecal microbiome transplant is essentially freeze-dried poop from a healthy dog in a pill form, no scent, no taste. We put it in their food. They don't even know it's there. They gulp it down. And essentially what it is doing is it is rebalancing. It is rebalancing. Sorry guys, head of security. It is rebalancing an unbalanced gut. So the first step in doing an FMT is that you have to do a stool sample. You're going to do this. They were called animal biome. They are now called doggy biome. You're going to go onto their website and you are going to order the 2-test kit. For those of us, or for those who are local to us, we are bringing these kits in store, so you will be able to come to us to get them. But in the meantime, if you're having a furry guy with serious digestive issues, you're going to go on doggybiome.com. You are going to order the 2-test kit. When it gets here, you are going to wait for a stool sample. If it's diarrhea, it's diarrhea. It doesn't matter. You get all of the things you need, rubber gloves, the liquid solution, the little Q-tip. You're going to take so you're going to wait until the number 2 happens. You're going to take your little sample with your Q-tip, put it in the wet solution, seal it up, and you're going to package it all up. They send everything. So everything that you even send it back to them, mailing label, everything. You send it back, they assess it deep, really deep, you guys. They provide you an in-depth, detailed report about whether or not the gut is balanced. So when I did Zayner's, the first results that came back was that he was moderately to severely imbalanced. I didn't understand why, because he was eating literally the best food on the market. I learned afterwards, Yorkies and miniature Schnauzers in particular, their pancreases are not optimized to process a completely raw diet without the incorporation of a really good source of fiber. And I thought that the organic vegetables in his raw food, was an adequate source of fiber, but apparently it was not. That's where the Fluorophore came in, so getting that good, healthy fiber in there. So anyways, I did the FMT, so he got 2 pills a day for 30 days, and week after week, I saw improvement. Then we were finished the pills, we wait 2 weeks, we do another stool sample, we send it off, we get the same type of report back, and he was balanced. And then that's when I started including his Fluorophore to get him back to his happy little loud self. So if you have got a little furry guy that has severe diarrhea, no matter what food you feed, I would seriously look at doing an FMT. That's probably going to be the best thing that you can do. Okay. What that is, we did that. My Cocker's super fussy. I recently switched to Open Farm. Fantastic. Somebody says, I have changed several times and he just dislikes kibble. That can happen. The same can happen with raw, right? There are some cats, dogs out there that just don't tolerate raw. They don't like it, or they don't tolerate. Now kitties, again, a little bit different on the kitty side. Kitties can take a very long time to transition to, we just picked the wrong time to go live. Kitties can take a very long time to transition, so if you're trying to move your kitty from a dry food to a more healthy, less processed food, it can take up to 6 months. And here's how I'm going to explain this. traditional kibble and the amount of sugar that is in this much kibble, okay? So there's a lot of sugar because of the carbs. When kitties are eating a traditional dry food, it is almost like they develop a sugar addiction. So now we want to move them to a more, a less processed, more healthy option. And it's kind of like me saying to you, all right, from now on, anytime you want chocolate, I'm going to give you a stick of celery instead. You will protest. You will not eat the celery in place of your chocolate. But if I give you your chocolate and just a little bit of celery to go with it, you'll probably eat that celery. And over time, I am going to increase the amount of celery that I'm giving you while I decrease your chocolate, and you're probably not going to notice as much. We have to remember that kitties are very temperature, texture orientated, so if they're used to their dry food and all of a sudden we slap a wet chunk of raw meat in there, they're gonna look at it and go like, what is this? If it's cold, they probably won't like it too much. So temperature, texture, that's what the kitties are looking for. It can take a lot longer to switch them. Dogs can be the same way. Some just don't like kibble. Some don't like raw. So we need to find something in between that they will eat. We want them to love their food. That is so important. It makes up such a big part of their lives, their food. It's 20% of their lives, really. Like they've got us, they've got sleep, they've got play, they've got walks, and they've got food. So when food makes up 20% of their lives, we want to make sure that they love it. So it is important that we find something that they will love. Okay. Safe for freshening breath. So oftentimes we think that if we've got bad breath, it's coming from the mouth. A lot of times, if we've got bad breath, it's actually coming from an unbalanced gut. So obviously we want to brush our teeth. That will help. But if the root problem is in the gut, we need to make sure that the gut is balanced. Sometimes that can just be a diet change. Sometimes that can be adding in a pre-probiotic and digestive enzyme, goat's milk, something like that. We want to identify the root cause. And if it is gut, it could come down to diet. We answered that. And whoops. Not sure what that is in relate to. Whoops. Uh-oh. Hang on, you guys. There we go. Back to where do you like freeze-dried food? Yes. Not that I'm eating his freeze-dried food, but that is what Zaner eats. He eats a freeze-dried raw diet. He does very well on it. Freeze-dried raw is fantastic. However, the caveat is, if we've got a furry guy that weighs more than 10 pounds, freeze-dried raw can be a very expensive meal option. So if our furry guy is over 10 pounds, use it as a topper, as a portion of the diet, but feeding it, you'd go broke. If your dog is over 10 pounds, it becomes a very expensive meal option. Under 10 pounds, we've got a lot of options, and freeze-dried raw can be the diet for a dog. Zaner is 5.5 pounds, so he literally gets about a half a cup worth of freeze-dried a day with all of the other things that I put in. Bone broth, his supplements, his goat's milk, his blueberries, like all the things. This dog is, he doesn't want for much, you guys. So yes, I do love freeze-dried. How do you feel about Feed Essentials? I am not familiar with Feed Essentials, so at this point, I feel nothing. I would have to take a look. I'm sorry I asked it so many times, my question just kept going away, but thank you, absolutely, I would try. Okay, perfect. We answered that. What's good for English Bulldog bad breath? Should I brush his teeth? So again, bad breath can actually, we have to figure out the root cause. If it is in the gut, then of course we want to do something to address the gut. Brushing their teeth is never a bad thing. Brushing their teeth does have to happen every 24 hours because plaque and debris will rebuild every 24 hours. So you've just got to make it part of your routine. Zaner gets his teeth brushed every night before we go to bed. He is a Yorkie. He's got a tiny mouth. He's got the same amount of teeth that a big dog would have, but in a much smaller mouth. And so little dogs are just kind of notorious for bad teeth. But on our last dentistry, my vet had said, whatever you are doing, keep doing it because he has remarkable teeth for an 8-year-old Yorkie. So brushing is what I do. He's not a big chewer. Raw meaty bones are a fantastic way to keep our teeth clean. It helps to scrape. It is Mother Nature's toothbrush. So if we can do raw meaty bones, you will see a difference. If they're not big chewers like Zaner just isn't, brushing his teeth is what we do. Also, raw food. Raw food in the diet will absolutely help with keeping the teeth clean. Kibble does not. That is a wives' tale, old myth, whatever you want to call it. Kibble does not keep teeth clean. It doesn't keep teeth clean because 1, they don't chew it long enough. 2, they barely chew if they do chew. 3, it's full of sugar. And 4, raw meats are the only things out there that have the necessary enzymes to break down plaque and debris. So thinking that we're feeding kibble to keep teeth clean is equivalent to me telling you eat Doritos your entire life. You don't have to brush your teeth because they're crunchy. Not true. Okay, change dog food per vet, but now my dog constantly eats grass. Is it making her tummy irritable? I'd be interested to know what the food is that you changed to. If it was recommended by the vet, it's likely that it is some sort of a prescription diet. We don't want, if they're on a prescription food, that is truly a Band-Aid, you guys. It is not a solution. So let's not keep them on a prescription food for any more than 3 months if they absolutely have to. It is just an easily digestible food, if it's prescription food, that will give the body a little bit of time to rest and recover without stressing the digestive tract. But then we want to start nourishing the body again. A lot of times there is suspicion that dogs eat grass because they're looking for chlorophyll, the substance that makes plants green. Kitties normally will eat grass because they have to get sick. Sometimes dogs will as well. They might go out and eat a little bit of grass to just make themselves sick if they've got an upset tummy, but usually they're looking for the nutrients that the grass provides. Zaner is going to get spankings, you guys. Just kidding. He doesn't even know what a spanking is. What brand of freeze-dried do you like? So Zaner eats Open Farm freeze-dried. He will also eat Primal freeze-dried. He eats Noble freeze-dried. Trying to think about the freeze-dried that I like.
What we had
Those are the ones that I can think of.
for food, yes.
Yeah, for freeze-dried food.
Yeah, there's tons of single ingredient freeze-dried treats that we like too, but for food, those would be the main.
Do you like Gently Cooked by Open Farm? 100%, you guys. Now again, Gently Cooked kind of falls along the same lines as freeze-dried with regards to, is it an affordable meal option? Not necessarily, depending on the size of your dog. Under 10 pounds, you could probably get away with feeding Gently Cooked as just the meal. For guys that are bigger than 10 pounds, it is a fantastic topper or a special meal, right? We have family supper on Sundays, then Pupper gets their special supper too. Gently Cooked, it doesn't have preservatives in it, so when we open it, think of your own leftovers. Would you eat leftovers that you sat in your fridge for 10 days? No. You want to eat those leftovers or that Gently Cooked that you've opened and thawed within 3 to 5 days would be pushing it. Okay, so 3 to 4 days. What you can do though with any pet product that is raw, you can thaw one time and refreeze one time. So if you got Gently Cooked and you have a little guy and you're like, well, I just kind of want to put like a tablespoon a day, and I can't use an entire package within 3 to 5 days or 3 to 4 days, thaw it, portion it off into little ice cube trays, take it out the night before. You can do that.
For sure. Somebody said, I mix freeze-dried with fish origin. Is that okay? 100%.
Yeah. We always recommend a buffet in the bowl, you guys. So the more variety you can put into that bowl, the better it is. Be the mad scientist. So nobody wants to eat the same thing every day. You as a consumer, us as a retailer, nobody wants to get married to a brand. What if something happened to that brand? And then you don't want to be stuck going, oh my God, that's the only thing my dog will eat. So the more variety you can build into the bowl, be the mad scientist, build the buffet with different proteins, different types, different brands, the better it is, because we need to get them there. If they've never done this and you've just been feeding the same dry diet for the last 7 years, gradually we are going to incorporate new different things into the bowl. But the benefits, aside from health benefits and reducing other, common ailments that happen, is if anything ever happened, you are not stuck in a position where you're like, my dog won't eat anything. Okay?
Farmina versus Open Farm for dogs.
So we looked at Farmina, and I think that for the most part, Farmina is a pretty good food. My concerns is I do have...
He's attacking my
Like,
feet
totally
today.
attacking. Completely attacking.
He's got to protect his mama at all costs.
With their functional foods, they do use powdered cellulose in their weight management foods. Powdered cellulose is a big no-no for me, so I didn't like that. They also use, and I'm not sure in which formulas or recipes, but they also use the synthetic vitamin K. And I am not a fan of that because it is a harmful ingredient and has been linked to causing harm with the organs. So I like the idea of Farmina. I really liked Farmina. I wanted to bring it in, and then I did a little bit more research, and these are the things that I found that I went, no. We don't do controversial, we don't do harmful ingredients on any of the products in store, so for that reason, I had to axe Farmina from the list.
Yeah. Can I feed raw food straight from the fridge, or should it be room temperature?
It's all going to depend on your animal at the end of the day. As long as it's thawed, a bigger dog could eat, a raw food that is somewhat frozen, but a small guy, we don't want them eating frozen. We want them eating thawed, raw food. If your animal prefers it room temperature, take it out for a little while. If they don't mind it cold, serve it cold. It's not going to hurt anything.
For the most part, they're not picky with temperature like us.
Or kitties.
Yeah. Kitties will be, but for dogs.
Kitties will probably prefer
Yeah.
room temperature.
Okay, so somebody said, so I switch between different flavored dry food of the same brand. Is it better to give different brands every now and then?
Yeah, different brands, different types, different proteins, mix it up all the time. Think about us, you guys. We eat something different every day, and we can eat something different every day. They can too. Back in the day, when they had to fend for themselves, and we weren't sitting there feeding them in their stainless steel bowls, after they just got off their nice pillow for a rest, they eat what they kill. So today it might be a chicken, the next day it might be a gopher, the next day it might be venison, whatever. They ate different all the time. Wild dogs, wolves, tigers, cats, lions, all those things, they eat what they kill. So they're eating something different every day. For us, if we ate nothing but chicken and broccoli for the next 6 months, sitting down on the 7th month to eat steak would hurt. We have to gradually incorporate those different things back into our diet. That's what we're going to do with them to ensure that they can eat a variety of foods.
Besides Open Farm, what else do you like?
Carnivore, if you're looking for a dry food. Honest Kitchen clusters, if you're looking for a dry food. It all depends on, it's going to depend on your lifestyle. We want to be mindful of everybody's budget. So it depends who you're feeding and what you're interested in. Lifestyle plays a big key.
Lifestyle, do you want dry? Do you want semi-moist? Do you want... Yeah.
A lot of times too, you can look at it kind of like, okay, is convenience more important than cost, or is cost more important than convenience? Where does my lifestyle play in here? Is it kind of like, I don't care, sky's the limit, let me do whatever I want to do? And then, yeah, it all depends on you.
I think the same person that was asking about switching between the different brands and all that says, I give my dogs a Canna. What other brand do you guys recommend? I shop at Petco, so they don't have Open Farm, unfortunately.
We don't have Petco's in Canada. They do have Honest Kitchen though, I believe. So Honest Kitchen clusters is something that you could look at, or even the Honest Kitchen original recipe, which you mix with water, and then it kind of has like a porridge consistency. That could be a part of the meal. Then we're including some hydration. Honestly, Zane, you guys, it's ridiculous.
Savage at the finest today. Yeah. And then somebody said, you guys are fantastic. Please look into Raw Pet Medics on YouTube and also do an interview with them.
So we actually follow Dr. Connor Brady. So I follow them on Facebook. So I have tuned into some of their lives. That would be cool. And I actually just reached out to Connor, Dr. Connor Brady, I should say, who wrote Feeding Dogs, because we have a TikTok coming up where I've got his book featured in it. So I'm like, Connor, are you on TikTok? Because we need to tag you. But he's not the guy who looks after social media. So he said, I think so, maybe coming soon. I don't know. I don't do it. But I said, well, keep me posted so that we can tag you. Yeah.
For sure. Somebody said, my dog has red and inflamed skin in between his toe pads. Is there anything that can help?
Probably, that is probably a little bit of a yeast infection. I would definitely do kefir.
Kefir, I think also the Blue Balm might help from Chester's as well.
Yeah.
You could do that if it's super irritated.
Adore Beast also has a product called Owies and Oopsies. Now, the only thing is, with anything that we're applying on the outside, we are only addressing the symptom. We are not addressing the root cause, which is why I would start with kefir. Because if it is a yeast infection, we have to fix the problem from the inside. We're not going to fix it from the outside. We're just going to suppress symptoms. So we want to fix it from the inside, which is why I do kefir. But for external relief, we could rub a little bit of kefir. We could do a little bit of Boo Balm. We could do some Owies and Oopsies to provide the external relief. But we got to fix the problem from the inside.
Yeah. I think that was the last question.
Oh, look at that. That was, is it 3:15?
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
I thought we started at 3.
He's on Carnivore Fluorophore. So that'll help as well because it's a pre and a probiotic. But definitely try kefir as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we let you guys go too, I brought something up because for everybody watching on Facebook, these are a major hit in our
Well,
store.
we could have local folks on TikTok too.
Well, that too.
There we go.
Yes.
So for our local peeps.
But these are a major hit, and we couldn't get them in for the longest time, and we got them today, and we have them out on the floor. They're ready to go. These are, I'll give you 2 of them. These are the treats by Farm Fresh. So they're pretty much just whatever it is, it says on the package, on the front for the protein, that's what's in it. And then they also have some heart, some liver, some kidney, all the good stuff, and they have no preservatives in there either. So once you open them, you got to keep them in the fridge. The furry guys go crazy for these.
Bonkers.
Literally crazy.
Yeah.
We have people coming in and buying boxes at a time.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
So they are back in stock, you guys. We were out of stock for a little while, as many manufacturers are finding there are supply chain issues, manufacturing delays, all of the things. But they are back in stock. So for our local guys, your Farm Fresh is back in. You know where they hang.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys. Well, hopefully this was helpful. For those that were able to tune in live, for those that aren't, of course, our Facebook video will be on our Facebook page. It also gets posted to our YouTube channel immediately after. We thank you for spending some of your Friday afternoon with us. Apologize that it was
Hectic a little bit.
well, just, yeah, you ended up with just me and a screaming Zaner. But for our local folks, we are here today until 6 o'clock. We are here tomorrow, 11 till 6, closed on Sundays, back on Monday. We've got some great things coming up. Great. Thank you. You guys are great. Awesome. Thank you. Guys are great. You guys make this
possible
and totally fun, and we love it. So we love it. But yes, we will see you guys either in store or online next time. So Have a great weekend, you guys.
See ya.
Bye bye.